Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our second PU Computer Science online classes. Now in last class we already learnt some example of default constructor, maybe by using with or without scope resolution operator. Now also in this or in today's concept I want to tell some last point about our default constructor. This is the disadvantages of default constructor. Why? Because we know the features of default constructor. Whatever the features are applying to our default constructor, the same features is called as the disadvantage of our default constructor. Why? Because the features, for every object created, whenever any object created in our default constructor or in our class here, on that time the compiler automatically calling the default constructor, okay. And so this is about some of the features about our default constructor. Now let us see the disadvantages. So the first disadvantage of the default constructors, all objects are initialized same set of value by the default constructor. So we can say that when many objects of the same class are created, that means in a class if you are going to create many objects in a class, on that time we can say that all the objects of a class are initialized same set of value by the default constructor. I already said about this one, maybe the object that is the obj1 and the obj2, okay. So the two objects are there and each object have some of the data variables a, b, and obj2 also have some of the data variables a, b. That means obj1 a is equal to 10, obj2 a is equal to 10 here, and obj1 b is equal to 20 and obj2 b is equal to 20. So we can say that when many objects of the same class are created, so in this example obj1, obj2 are the same class objects, and maybe in class I created two objects here, and all the objects, whatever the objects are created in the class here, all the objects are initialized same set of value by the default constructor. So this one is the first disadvantage. We need to initialize the same set of value by using our default constructor. Or maybe the second disadvantage, it is not possible to initialize the different object with the different values by using our default constructor. Why? Because here in this example only we can use maybe the a value is equal to 10, obj1 a value is equal to 10, and maybe obj2 b value, that means our obj2 a value if you are using as a 40, then such value we can't use, the different value we can't use by using our default constructor. So this is the second disadvantage. That means the second one is it is not possible to use the different object with the different initial values by using our default constructor. That means we need to use whatever the objects are there, all the objects need to use the same set of value by the default constructors. And later, that means we still here we know all the features, syntax, and maybe the example and disadvantage of the default constructor. I already said there are three type of constructors are there. One is the default, second one is the parameterized, and third one is the copy constructor. Now in our second type, the second type is the parameterized constructor. So what do you know about our parameterized constructor, and what's the difference to our default and the parameterized constructor? So we can say that the meaning of the parameterized constructor, a constructor that takes one or more arguments. So how you are going to take the arguments? Why? Because see, in this example I already written one simple example for our parameterized constructor, and in our, why? Because the class name and parameterized constructor name should be the same. So in this example I used the constructor and the class name, that is the num. Okay, and here some of the arguments are there, int p, int q. Why? Because in parenthesis I used some of the argument, it is not a default arguments. Clear this point here? Default constructor. Why? Because the default constructor means it not going to use any argument within the parenthesis. So this is the example of the default constructor. Now that means the parameterized constructor that takes one or more arguments is called as the parameterized constructor. And using the parameterized constructor, it possible to initialize the different object with the different initial values. Clear to everyone what I said? Again I am going to repeat the same line. Why? Because by using, we know that in our parameterized constructor we using some of the argument, not just only the constructor only going to use the constructor with the argument going to use in our parameterized constructor here, and by using our parameterized constructor it possible to initialize the different object with the different initial values. So some of the example I want to tell, maybe the obj1, obj2 are there. In obj1 a and b, and in obj2 a and b, but here I am going to use some different kind of the value. In obj1 a I am using the value as 10, but obj2 a value I am going to use as the 40. Clear this point here? So 40, and maybe the obj1 b value is equal to 20, and later the obj2 our b value I want to use as the 60. So this is the meaning. That means by using our parameterized constructor it possible to initialize the different value to the different object. Clear this point here? So such a, or we can say that the parameterized constructor is also invoked automatically by the compiler. That means whenever any constructor is going to create, whenever any object going to create, if any object going to create with argument, then such parameterized constructor is automatically called or invoked by the compiler. Clear this point here? So we can say that whenever any object with arguments are created here, on that time only the compiler called the constructor. The constructor name is called as the parameterized constructor. So finally I want to tell about our the simple line for our parameterized constructor. The parameterized constructor are used to initialize the object. Why? Because to initialize the value to the object. Correct, Nokia? So this is the meaning about our parameterized constructor. Now some of the features about our parameterized constructor. So the first feature we can say that the parameterized constructor can be overloaded. So what's the meaning of the overloaded? Overloading, that means the function name is the same but different kind of arguments and different number of the arguments we are going to use. This is called as the overloading or overloaded functions here. So by using our default constructor we can't use the overloading function. Why? Because here in our default constructor just only the constructor name going to use, but in within the parenthesis we are not using any arguments. Because of this reason we can't use the overloaded function by using our default constructor. Okay. But by using the parameterized constructor it possible to use our overloading function, that is called as the parameterized constructor can be overloaded. Why? Because different kind of the argument we can use. The function name is the same, the constructor name every time should be the same, but by using different kind of the argument we can use. Okay. So the first feature, the parameterized constructor can be overloaded, and the second we can say that for any object created with one argument, if any object going to create, maybe the object obj1, maybe the obj1 is that, okay, the obj1, and such obj1 contain just only one argument. Clear this point here? The obj1 I created one object, the object name is the obj1 here. Maybe such obj1 have or contain one argument, contain one data. In this case the data is the or the data variable, that is the A in this case here. So just only I want to tell about the for an object created with one argument, then constructor only one argument is called, that is called as the invoking and executed. That means if any object contain one argument, then it is the duty of the constructor have just only one argument to called and invoke. Clear this point here? The may be called as the called or executing. Clear this point here? And the later next one, the third point, we can say that sometimes in our parameterized constructor it possible to use like our default constructor. So the parameterized constructor can have default value and default arguments. Clear this point here? The parameterized constructor may be the default value and the default arguments. So this is about our some features about the parameterized constructor. So I think it should be clear to everyone about the features. Three features are there here. The first features, the parameterized constructor can be overloaded, but that means by using the same constructor name, by using different kind of the argument, we can use the function again and again. So this is about our first feature. Then second one, if any object have one argument, then it is the duty of the constructor with only one argument is invoked and execute. Okay, and later next one is the third point, that we can say that it can have, that means the parameterized constructor can have default arguments and default values. How we are going to use in default constructor, like that only without argument. It also possible to define or declare the constructor, that means our constructor special member function, that is called as the parameterized constructor function. Okay, so this one is the about the some of the features about our parameterized constructor. Now let's see the one more thing, that is the invoking constructor. So what about the invoking? The meaning of invoking is called as the calling a constructor. Clear this point? Invoking meaning is a calling a constructor. So in which manner or by using which method it possible to invoke a constructor? So before going to tell about maybe the methods, in how many methods are there to invoke a constructor? So when we are going to invoke or called the constructor, so we can say that a constructor can be invoked or called automatically by our C++ compiler with an object declaration. When you are going to declare any object, on that time only it is the duty of the compiler to call or invoke the constructor. Clear this point here in this case? So we can say that first thing about here, that means it is the duty of the compiler when it going to invoke the constructor, it going to invoke the constructor when any object going to declare. Clear? So such invoking of the constructor or a constructor can be invoked through the following methods. So how many methods are there? There are three methods are there to invoking a constructor. The first method is called as the explicit call, second one is the implicit call, and third one is called as the initialization of object, or simply we can take as the initialization at the time of declaration with assignment operator. So there are three type of invoking of constructors are there. The first one is the explicit call, second one is the implicit call, and third one is the initialization at the time of declaration with the assignment operator. Now what about the first one? The first one is about our, here we can say that the explicit call. So in our explicit call we can say that in explicit call about a constructor going to invoke, that means we can say that about here the object declaration whenever it going to invoke in this case. So first of all it going to followed by the explicit call is followed by the object declaration and later assignment operator, the constructor name and argument list enclosed within parentheses. So this one is called as the this one is the main line about our explicit call. Clear this point here? In case of our explicit call, we can say that here how we are going to declare the object. So that means the declaration of an object, the declaration. Why? Because in this case I declared the object, the object name is the obj1. Okay, so the declaration of an object is followed by assignment operator, constructor name and argument list enclosed within parentheses. So this one is about our explicit call. If you are using such line, so we can say that it is called as the explicit. Openly we used some of the value, okay, to the argument. So openly I used the value, that is the 10 for A and 20 for the B. So let's see the program explicit call here. So in this case, first of all, the header file we need to use #include iostream.h, and later maybe some other header file if you want to use, you can use it. And later the class is the keyword, num is the class name, that is called as the user defined name, and after we need to opening of the flower bracket, and in private I am using two member data of the class. The member data of the class are A and B by using the data type int, and these value separated by using comma, and finally this semicolon going to use to complete the statement. And later next one, the second access specifier name, that is called as the public access specifier, and we know that what's the name we using for the class, this same name going to use for the constructor. So the constructor name is num and class name is also the num. So num, but it is a parameterized constructor example, and we know that the parameterized constructor meaning that takes one or more argument. So in this example, two arguments that is taken by our parameterized constructor. So num int p comma int q, but here we can say that no any semicolon. Why? Because directly going to define the constructor. And in case of the opening and closing of flower bracket, one simple calculation, one simple coding. Why? Because here I already used some of the data variables A, B, and later in parentheses I used the argument name P and Q. Now what's the value I am going to add for P, that is equal to A, and Q value that is equal to the B. One simple calculation I want to make by using the constructor. The constructor is the parameterized constructor. How we are telling it's a parameterized? Why? Because it takes some of the arguments. It takes two arguments, okay. And later closing of the flower bracket, and later next one is about our the one more member function. The member function is the display. So such member function going to define here, and later next one opening of the flower bracket and cout, then one message, the message going to display as the A, okay, the message going to display as A here, and later next one after that here whatever. Why? Because if you are not using by using double quotation, it going to display as the value. If you are using double quotation, it displaying as a message. So it going to display A. We already given the way value as the 10, okay. Why? Because later words I am going to tell, I already said about this one, but also later I am going to tell about our explicit call. But before that, let's see the how it going to display the message on monitor. And B is equal to B. Why? Because what's the value we adding, such value going to display for the B, and all those value going to display one by one by U. Why? Because here we used the end line. Then opening of the flower bracket and closing of the flower bracket, and one more flower bracket by using our semicolon, and this is called as the end of class definition, okay. Yeah, and maybe, and we already know if any definition, if you are using any definition going to use inside the class, in case you want to use. Why? Because scope resolution operator, such one going to use outside the class, but here no any scope resolution operator, okay, here going to use in this program. So just only I am going to take the main function. The main function is the void main. So in case of the void main, we need to open the flower bracket, and later next one. Now in this line we can say that explicitly. Why? Because here in this program the objects are obj1, obj2 are called explicitly by using parameterized constructor. How it is called as the explicit? Why? Because openly we declared the value for the variables a and b. So we can say that the explicit call means the object, that means the declaration of an object. So now how we are going to declare the object? Before going to declare the object, what's the class name is there? I am going to use. So the class name is the num. So I am using num obj1. That means I declared the object, but it is the example of the explicit call. So the explicit call means the object, that means the declaration of an object is followed by the assignment operator, equal sign, assignment to operator, and constructor name, that is the num here, and argument list enclosed within parentheses. Why? Because a, b. So it's going to, and the second one is also the num obj2 equal num 40, 50. Why? Because here two objects are there. One is the object 1 and second one is the object 2. Okay, object 1 and object 2. A, in both side A and B objects are there, but in object A value is going to display as 10, and later next one object 2 value going to display as 40, and obj1 b value going to display as 20, and later next one obj2 b value that is equal to the 40. Clear this point here? And later, why? Because here we already written some of the message in a correct manner, it going to display. So by using the message cout, I am going to display some of the message as the first construction here obj1 dot display. So in obj1 dot display means the first thing a is equal to 10, a is equal to 40. Clear this point here? That means our obj1, the obj1 value going to display in obj1, the values are we already written. That means our the obj1 dot display, the obj1 dot display going to display a as in message a is equal to our 10 and b value is equal to 20. Clear this point here? But before that it going to display the first construction and second one, and later words. Why? Because end line is there. So in second line it going to display the message as the second construction, and later next one which value going to access, that means the second object value obj2 dot display. In obj2 what are the values are there? A value is equal to 40 and b value is equal to 50. So it going to display a is equal to the second construction. After that a is equal to our we can say that the 40 and b value is equal to the 50. So such message going to display in our by using the program explicit call.